I haven't played the bad guy for a while. I just finished Thor Ragnarok, in which I play Loki again. But mercifully, the bad boy pants were passed on to Cate Blanchett this time around, who's playing the goddess of death, which is significantly more bad than the god of mischief, I think, in the bad boy stakes.
But let's put it this way. Doctor Strange has kind of very intensely cerebral time-bending powers. Last time we saw, at the end of Thor the Dark World, if you haven't seen it, you're just slow. So I'm going to spoil something about it, because it came out in 2013. So I'm going to spoil, like, at the end of Thor the Dark World, Loki's on the throne. What happened to Odin? So maybe Doctor Strange has to help out with that particular conundrum.
Oh my god, Tom Hiddleston dropping all the bombs. So he basically confirmed that Hela is going to be death in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Thanos' cosmic death. So I'm going to explain what's going on, but he also teased Doctor Strange as well. There is a new round of the Spider-Man giveaway going on. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. I'll announce the winners at the end. Be sure to click that bell to enable alerts so you don't miss anything. So this is huge. Tom Hiddleston was actually at the Golden Globes accepting for The Night Manager, which is a drama series with Hugh Laurie. It was like a completely separate thing. But he just confirmed Hela will be the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of Death, which may be a surprise, maybe not be a surprise, just because they tend to simplify things. Like they have Cate freaking Blanchett, one of the best living actresses right now, playing one of the biggest, most powerful characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It makes sense that they would try to find another way to incorporate her into other big storylines like Avengers Infinity War and Thanos. So top 10 things about this. Number 10, this is all based on Jack Kirby's Ragnarok storyline, which was like the last couple issues of Thor that he wrote for Marvel before he went to DC and did New Gods stuff. If you want to read those issues, it starts with Thor number 175 and goes through 177. So it's like the last 3 issues that Jack Kirby ever wrote on the original Thor comic book. Number 9, she's just as powerful as normal Asgardians, but in the comics, this is a little bit different. She has a pact with the cosmic entity Death, which in the comics is like a separate thing that allows her to collect a portion of the souls of dead Asgardians and bring them to her realm. So she is kind of like a smaller version of the devil for Asgard, but she in her own right shares a lot of the same physiology as normal Asgardians. So she does have magical abilities. She curses Thor with immortality. She's able to restore people to life. She has certain magical abilities that go beyond what you would think that Doctor Strange or Loki would be able to do. So she's on par with the big magical beings of the Marvel Universe. She is the daughter of Loki, but not the current version of the character. She's the daughter of a Loki from a previous version of Ragnarok. So Ragnarok is the cycle of death and rebirth, where the gods die, new gods are born in their place, some are resurrected. So she's the daughter of a previous version of Loki, but Odin is the one who appoints her goddess of the realm of death, so it's sort of like exile. You can see how Hela might be a little bit bitter about that, so they might incorporate that into the movie as well. Like she's been banished for all these years from Asgard, even though she is the daughter of an Asgardian. Number 8, during that original Ragnarok storyline, while Loki is taking over Asgard, Hela steals a portion of Odin's soul, like as if he were in the Odin sleep, steals a portion of his soul and creates a being called Infinity with it. Now, Marvel has had like a couple different versions of Infinity in the comics, but number 7, this version of Infinity had a child known as Eon, which was responsible for protecting the celestial axis, which was like the life force that flowed through the world tree, which was kind of like the way the Asgardians used to describe the universe. Number 6, Hela's main weapon is the Night Sword. It's a magical sword that's on par with a lot of other Asgardian weapons. It's not quite as powerful as Thor's hammer, which itself is actually a living entity. I'll explain how Thor's hammer is really alive. There's like a consciousness to the hammer, and it doesn't really speak that often. But Hela's Night Sword is one of the most powerful weapons next to Odin's spear, which is technically the most powerful in Thor's hammer. There's always a lot of arguments about who has the most powerful weapon. technically you would say Thor's hammer is the most powerful, but because Odin has the Odin force and wields it through the spear becomes the most powerful weapon. So the most powerful god typically has the most powerful weapon, but if Thor is doing his job and the hammer's working the way it's supposed to, it would be the most powerful weapon. So number 5, the next most powerful weapon that she actually gets to use is Twilight, the sword of Fire Lord Surtur, who is a big figure in Ragnarok. So Surtur himself has a long history fighting against Odin. Thor has to battle him back into submission, but he's so powerful that he has to use several different artifacts to do it. And they've had a lot of battles during the comics, but the Odin force itself was created when Odin first trapped Fire Lord Surtur in his realm, which is down here on the World Tree. So the way you view this is the way the Asgardians view the universe itself. So you have Hela's realm down here, Niflheim, right under Midgard, which is, sort of like the mortal plane, in Asgard up here at the top. Although technically Valhalla is the Asgardian version of heaven, it does exist in Marvel Comics. But the way you see like the balance here is that Odin is God, he protects the 9 realms. Their version of the devil is Hela, she presides over the realm of death, collects a portion of the souls. So even though Hela resides over the realm of death, number 4, Fire Lord Surtur, very important in the takeover of Asgard. So Loki is planning to take control of Asgard, makes a pact with Hela, but separately also releases Fire Lord Surtur from his realm so that he can run amok and go crazy. Hela didn't wield his sword till much later in the comics, but you can see how they all work together to create this chaos where Loki was trying to take over Asgard, but Hela has her own plans, which provides for number 3, the opportunity for Loki to not be the villain of the story. He was a villain of sorts for the first 2 movies, much less so during Thor the Dark World, still very bad, but he really just wants to rule. So when he makes his Faustian bargains, as he tends to do, she storms Asgard, forcing Loki to make a bargain with Thor to try and fix everything, so that he gets to be the hero of his own story, even though he created this problem in the first place. Number 2, this provides the entry point for Doctor Strange so that he can help Loki and Thor locate Odin, restore his soul that has been stolen from him so that he can regain the Odin force and fight off Hela in the minions of Ragnarok. Thor and Hulk very important to this equation, but because this video is a little bit more about Hela, we talk about number 1, Thanos and his relationship with death and how that's going to change in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because as it seems like the Marvel movies are now combining the cosmic entity Death with the Asgardian version of Death in Hela with Cate Blanchett, then Thanos will try to make a pact with her because she wants to destroy the universe. Thanos in the comics is in love with death, so it's a very meta concept, being in love with the idea of death, but because Marvel has like a physical cosmic entity Death that you can reach out and touch, he literally loves her, wants to make her his bride. But hilariously, she rejects him and it leads to his ultimate undoing. Now, Infinity War, the movie, isn't going to be exactly like the Infinity comic book storyline, but until Thanos assembles all of the Infinity Gems and wears the gauntlet, Cate Blanchett's character, Hela, will be the most powerful villain inside this Marvel universe, not including Dormammu, who will become a much bigger thing later in Marvel Phase 4. So that's getting a little ahead of the story, so we can talk about it down the road. Congratulations to the latest Spider-Man giveaway winner, Maiden X. You win a $20 Comixology gift card. Be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. There was a new round that started in this video. If you want to request a special Marvel movie video or something related, just leave it in the comments. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here to learn all about the Planet Hulk storyline that's going to be happening during Ragnarok, and you can click here for my Justice League preview of all the costumes. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.